Hello everyone, welcome to Cut and Sew Like a Pro Challenge. My name is Susan Fawehinmi, and I'm CEO and Creative Director of WOWCut and the Head Coach at WOW Fashion School. Today, I'll be introducing you to the second task, which is an evening dress. It's a Victorian corset with A-line base. So let's get right into it. I'll be showing you how to cut it freehand method and also pattern making method. So I'll be starting with the pattern method. So the first thing you do is to draft your pattern. You can refresh by going to the first task so that you see how I did that. So I'll go ahead and make my block into a full blouse length. So this is the first thing that you do. So I'm going to elongate my dart leg. So I'll get my hip measurement here. So that's 48 plus 2 inches, that's to be 14. Now because this is going to overlap on this, so what I'll do, I'll cut and add paper on this part. So I've added paper to continue my hip for the back. So I'll add my hip measurement on this level. So that will be 12 plus 1 plus the dart allowance here. So connect. So I'll make a contour allowance here. So do contour of 1 inch mark. Contour allowance of 1 inch here. I'll mark. So connect. To this dart point. And connect. So I'll get the midpoint of here. So let me just use this. This is like my midpoint. So connect both that leg. So contour to meet that leg. So I'll be separating both. So just separate Okay, so this is my front now, so I'll go ahead and I'll measure my shoulder to under bust measurement. So that's 16. I'll mark. Then I'll contour. Now contouring is a technique that helps you get rid of excesses in areas. So I'm going to contour and I'll connect it back to my dart leg. So I'll connect to my bust area and connect here. So the next thing I'll do, I'm gonna be using this dot the way it is. I'm not transferring it anywhere. So I'll connect. I'll just blend it so that it blends and cups very well. So I'll go ahead and get my neck design. So I'm going with a round neck. So the next thing I'll do, I'll create another channel for my boning. So just get the midpoint of your side. So this is 5 to 8. So I'll get two 1 2 3 4 5 5 8. So just connect that line. So the next thing I'll do, I'll take 1/4 of an inch on either side. And now this is to help snatch the waist area. Now I can decide to have like an illusion part here, but because of the style, well, I can also do that so that I'll have my cup really cupped out. So this is what I'll do. I'll have like a sweetheart neckline, which I'll be bringing back the illusion to it, but I can also leave it this way so that it has like a full bodice. So let me go with this one. Because the neck of this design has like drapes, so either way you can either do this or you do the other way. So I'll be contouring this area also. I'll take 1/2 inch from this point from the center and 1/2 inch from this point also. So connect, then connect also. Okay, measure from the highest point. So you measure 8 inches. So 8 is fair. So I forgot to measure earlier. So measure, then connect. Now you see this part, I'm going to take out 1/2 inch from here so that my net will not sag. So this will be going off. So this is my actual line, and here. So the 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So let me redraw this one. So this is my half. So I'll be cutting out. So I'll be having one casing channel in my center front here and here also. So the next, I'm going to do my, before I cut out this, I'll do my back. Now for my back, I want my full front, that's my full bodice for the back. So I'll just transfer my shoulder dart here and ignore it there. So I'll close. so you can put paper underneath it. So just put the paper underneath it and ignore it there. So then I will get my neckline. So what I just do to confirm the neckline I'm using, measure from here to here. So this is 0.75 and continue measuring. So this is like 3.68. So I come here and 3.68. So this is it. Okay, no, you measure from the shoulder side to the neck. So that's where I'll be. Now, because of the style, you can either have it as a zip or you have it as a corset with the lace back, but I think I want to have it as a zip. So just get your neck this way. So I'll start cutting. For this one now, since I'm having it as a zip, I will have so that my waist will be perfectly snatched. I would have okay, I'll have like a princess cut from here. Okay, hold on. I'll have a cut from here. So get the midpoint of this point. So I have 5, so I'll do 2.5. 2.5. So then connect. So this is 1. Then this one I will go all the way up with it. Or what you could have done, another way of doing it is to use this dot. So let me connect it, because I was actually thinking of doing a lace back, but I want to show you that you can also snatch your waist properly even though you have a zip. So I'll be opening this dot back. So you see the good thing about working with paper, having like a part, you can alter and re-alter, so this is what I'll do. So you see I connected this one here and I'm connecting this one to my shoulder dot. So this is off. So I can also have another channel here so that my back will be well snatched. So this is 4 to 8 or 4/4. So this is my midpoint, 218. So I'll connect. Now, since I decided to use a zip, I will be needing back my zip allowance. I can either put it while I'm cutting or I can just attach it here right now. Now if you decide that you want to do zip, you can always add your zip allowance while you're constructing, so you don't need to be bringing in paper the way I'm doing now. So okay, so I'll add my zip allowance. So here will be 1 inch, here I'll do half. I'll do half an inch, then here I'll do 2 inch. So I'll connect. Now the reason why I'm doing this is for balance, so that you have a good fit. So this is what my back looks like. Then I'll be taking 1/4 of an inch on either side. So this will help snatch your back. 1/4 of an inch on either side. So this. So this is what it will look like. So I'll go ahead and label so that you don't miss it. So this is our center back. So I can label 1, 2, 3, 4. Then put your arrow so that you know the direction, so that you don't get confused. So this is for the back. So let me cut. Now because of the style, the length of the when I'm cutting my fabric, I'm going to increase. So I'll cut my dart out. So I'll go ahead and I'm cutting off this dart. So I'll separate this part also. So like I was saying, I'm going to increase the length of this blouse because of the style concept. Because the skirt is going to be slanted to one side. So it's a symmetrical design. So we need more room for it to slant into. So this is my back. Okay, so this is my back. Then I'll bring my front. So I'll cut through. Okay, so so you need to label also. So we have, now I can decide to create another boning channel, or I can decide to just leave it. So based on what I'm seeing right now, I would have to straighten this part to take off the excess so that you don't have any bulge. So you see, so I'll take out the excess. So we have, so I'll label also, this is my center front, this is my side seam. So 1, 2, 3. So at the end of the day, we'll have 8 panel in front and also 8 at the back, because there will be a join in the front here. So this is it. Now the next thing you do, okay, mark your nipple point. This is, so you would have marked it before now. The reason why I'm saying that, so that you can confirm the distance between here and the top. So this is like 4.5, and confirm here. So you have same. Well, peradventure you don't have same, you need to increase the center front side. But since it's same, you're good to go. So I'll be closing my shoulder that's here, so that I'll be using this to cut my illusion. So this is it. So I just have to gum. So cut off this ½ inch there. So I'll be bringing down the neck also. So these are the pieces that we have. We have a illusion for the front. We have a center front. So we have our front pieces and we have our back pieces. So this is what we have. So I'll be drafting the freehand method, but I still prefer to do it on paper or on paper stay, whichever way works for you. So get the length. Now, because of the style, I'll be making this to the hip level, or you can just do your blouse length then extend while you're cutting your fabric. So let me get my blouse length first. So I'll use 26. Then I'll get my shoulder to nipple, which is 12.5, shoulder to under bust 16. Then I'll measure my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder is 16 mark, or 16 and a half, that's 17 mark. Now it all now depends on the style line based on the design we're doing, so it's coming straight. Okay, so I'll get my illusion part out. So that'll be 8, mark 8 as the level, just like this. Then get your nipple to nipple measurement. So that'll be 4.5 mark. Then take out ½ inch and mark your under bust. Then here mark, take out ½ inch also. So come to this place and whatever you have here, take it all the way down. So so you have that. So the next thing you do is to measure your shoulder, your that allowance. So I'm using 2.5 here. Then I'll come here and I'll measure 2.5 also, or I can use 3. Then connect. Let me see if this can. So connect. And connect. So you see, then square down this, that. So I did 2.5. So mark 2.5. So that's your dart point. So the next thing I'll do, okay, let me do my illusion part. So I'll get my shoulder, so which I've done already. Then I'll drop 1.5 inch shoulder slope. Now a lot of people make the mistake of not dropping their shoulder. That's why at the end of the day you have excess around your armpit area. So I'll just use the basic neck 3x3, since I'm still going to open it. So connect. So since my shoulder is 8.5, I will less ½ inch and mark 8 here. So I'll connect. So I'll create my sweetheart neckline. Well, it won't actually show from the design we're going to do eventually, but let's just make it that way. So you can actually make it round or sweetheart. Then since we know you have 4 inches here, jump your dart, and here should be your shoulder measurement less ½ inch. So this is 8. So after sewing you can still trim. Then I'll measure 2.5, 2 inches or 2.5 for my armhole depth. Then on that level I'll get my bust measurement. My bust measurement is my bust measurement is 46 or 45. So that's 11.5 plus 3 inches. So that'll be half, 1, I think 14.5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, So mark that point. So I'll connect my armhole. So that's it. Then I'll get my half length, shoulder to navel measurement. I'll come up 2 inches. So I'll get 18. So my shoulder to navel is 22. So I'll come up 4 inches, or just use 17. But because we're doing a corset, I will maintain. There are rules to doing this, as in getting your shape line. But since we're doing a corset requires you having a lower shape line compared to the normal shaping that we do. So my half length is actually 22. So I'll just remove 1 inch because I'm doing a corset. So this is it. Then on this area I will get my waist. So my waist is 37. So this is 4, 37, 36 is 9, so it's around here. So I'll add my 2 inches allowance. That's 1, 2. So this is my point. Then I'll come down here and get my hip measurement. Now, since I have enough paper to make it longer, I will just get to my hip level. Okay, from here, let me just add, this is my hip level actually. So I'll mark this point. Then I'll get my hip here. So 48, so we have plus 2, that's 14. So this is my shape. 12 is plus, okay, 2.5, that will be 14.5. So this is my, so I'll be connecting. So connect. Now the reason why I made it this long is because of the shape. Let me connect with my, so this gives a better connection. I made it long this way because of the style that we're doing, which you see at the end of the day. And you know the reason why I made it long. So this is it. So the next thing I'll do is to introduce my boning channel line. So this is 7, that'll be 3.5 mark. So I'll connect all the way. Connect all the way. So I'll take my 1/4 inch on either side. So this will help snatch your waist line. So this is it. So let me contour just 1 inch. So this is it for the freehand. Then come here and take out your 1/2 inch. Your 1/2 inch and connect So here is going off. So here, this will help you have a balance. Sometimes you can even take as high as 1 inch, depending on what it looks like. Then I'll come here and get my neck. So let me do 1.5 from here and drop, let's say 2.5 or 3 inches on this side to connect. So that's it for the front. Okay, let me see if I can get my back from here. Let me just measure the bust. Okay, I can get my back from here, but there's no zip allowance. So I'll create another paper. Now on this area, take out, make a contour allowance of 1 inch. Okay, let me be sure it's 1 inch. Then connect back your hip. It's just that for pattern making, all these are ready in your block. So this is it for. So let me cut before I start. Okay. Now I was wondering why I forgot to add my sewing allowance to the hip. So because I added 3 inches here for the waist is, let me confirm. So we have 1.5 on the waist. So on the hip, you also need 1.5 inch. So always think through what you're doing to know that you're not making a mistake. If I already added all my allowance on the, so this is what it should actually look like. This is it. So this is my contour. So I'll put paper and gum it back. So this is what. So you label, this is your center front, 1, 2, 3. Put your arrow. So this is what it will look like. So you see that we have same number of pieces. The only difference here and the other one is that this one I elongated it to the length I actually want. For the other one, when I'm cutting my fabric, I will get it to the length. So when you're doing it, make sure that you have your allowance on your bust, waist and hip. So I'll be coming here back. I actually forgot, I thought I was doing my normal pattern making, that the allowance comes on the fabric when you're cutting. So make sure that you remember to add your allowance. So just make sure you remember to add this allowance. I actually forgot when I was doing my in. So this is what the front looks like for the freehand. And don't forget to contour. This contour gives it a fit. If you leave it at this level, what I did, I measured my half length and -1 because I was doing a corset. If I was doing normal fitted dress that was without corset, I would do -3 or -4 to get, and because for plus size people, don't exceed 16 or 17. No matter what the calculation gives you, just make sure you use for your shape line. So this is what the front. I'm going to add paper under to gum this. So I'll be drafting my back now. So the front, I used 31 for the length. 31 is not my blouse length. I'm using 31 based on the design that I want to achieve. So for the back, I'll shorten it with 1 inch and use 30, because naturally your front is longer than your back. So once I get there, I'll get my back length, or your since it's corset, I'll use my back length. If it's normal outfit, I will use my nape to waist measurement. So back length is to be 17.5. The nape to waist should be like 16. So I'll mark that point. Then I'll get, okay, let me measure out my 2 inches so that I'll use it at my back for my zip side. So let me just get this out first. So the next thing I'll do is to measure my shoulder measurement. So from here, that's 8.5 mark. Then shoulder slope of 1.5. Then get your 3 by 1. The front is 3 by 3, back is 3 by 1. I'm still going to open the neck. So connect. Then drop your armhole. Armhole 8 inches. So you can use this to connect. Now to be sure, make sure that you measure the half part of it so that you're on track. So this is it. Then I'll get my bust measurement. Bust measurement is 45 or 40, that's 11.5. So since I'll add 2 inches, 11.5, that's 13.5. For the front is 3 inches for the back. So we are assuming this is our direct fabric. That's why we're adding all the necessary. But I prefer you use paper stay to cut it first. So this is plus 2 inches. This is 1, 2. Okay. So this is my point to connect your armpit to reach it. Then the next thing you do is to get your waist. Now, to be clear, you can just bring in your front waist, front side, so that you have the same. And what you need to note is that your waistline and your back length, they are not on the same level, so don't get like discouraged that is not supposed to be on the same level. So I'm just going to get the shape. You see, here it has to be contoured. Okay. So as it is now, you have same. So the next thing I'll do is to rule my back length. So you see what I'm saying? This shape line is different from your back length. So I'll get my nipple to nipple measurement, which was 4.5 mark. So you take a ½ inch on either side. Now here I will do 5 inches or do 5.5, then connect to this point. Then we connect to measure 4.5 here also. So we connect. Then get them. Now my allowance is like 1.5. So from here I'll get the midpoint. It's like 5.68. So this 3.38. No. 6. Let's see. So that's 3. So I'll connect. Then get your ½ inch on either side. Okay, this is not on the right. Then get your ½ inch on either side. Now you note that I did not add my allowance to what I'm connecting, so that you get it at the right spot. So I'll come here and also get the midpoint. This is 4, so 2. So get your ½ inch. This is what will help you snatch. So here is 2. Okay. Now measure the 2 inches from here also, so that you Now why you're saying the dart so long is because of the style that there's no illusion at the back. And here, this dart, the original dart of your construction, measure 9 inches. That's where 9 inches is the level where you take your dart. So that, let me connect it down here, connect it down here, and go with a straight line up. Now the reason I don't want excesses to go off from here, so that's why I connected it. So you measure 9 from the highest point, then connect your dart, then rule the line all the way up. So this is it for my back. Then okay, let me add my zip allowance. So here will be 1 inch, here will be half an inch, then here I'll do my 2 inches. So here is already 2. So let me connect. So you see, to help you snatch. Then the next thing I'll do is to get my neck. So this is my point. Make sure you always rhyme your neck. Back and the front has to be on the same level from here to here. So let's see. Let's curve. You can use a curve ruler to get that done. If you like, you can bring down your neck more. It all depends on what you like. So I'll cut. Okay, then label. Center, front, 1, 2, 3, 4, side seam. Put your arrows. Very important so that you don't get confused. So the next thing I'll do is to cut. Now this is what the back looks like. Now when you're cutting your fabric, what you should note is that you add half-inch allowance on where you cut through, except for the side, because the side already has the allowance, the sewing allowance. So just make sure you just add only allowance on this part that you cut through. And also note that when you're drawing your dart, get the level of your blouse length. So you're drawing the dart to meet that point, then connecting it to this down, so that you don't flatten this area of your bodice, because we know this is not your blouse length, this is longer than your blouse length. So that's it for back. I'll proceed to cut the skirt part now. So I decided to use this damask fabric instead of a lace. Okay, so I'll be cutting the skirt part. Now, because of the way the design of the fabric is vertical, so I'll follow it that way. So I'll be cutting the A-line skirt. It's going to have like an open slit in front. For this one, you can do paperwork, but you can also do it freehand method. So what you need to do is to measure your hip measurement. So my hip is 48, so this is it. Now, because I want to, if you want to make it wider at the down, you can, but this always gives it the necessary wideness. So your hip divided by 2, just get that value. So 48. So that's it. Then I'll get the length. Now, for the purpose of this challenge, we'll be making it longer. So it's gonna be like a tailed skirt. So my length is that's 68, but I'll be doing like 70 for my front, so that when I wear heels it will still be long. So that's 70. Okay, so I'll get the length of my skirt. Then I'll get my hip level, which is 10 mark. I'll get my knee level, which is 21. So I'll just connect with my hips. So I'll get my waist measurement. The waist measurement is 37. Let me just, this 38. Just add 1 inch. Or if you feel comfortable adding more, you can add 2 inch. So you're okay with the allowance you're adding. Then the hip is 48. I'll add 1 inch or 1.5 inch. So this is it. Then the knee, what I do, I divide, I minus 6 inches from my hip measurement. So that will be 42. Then 42 divided by 4, that's 10.5. 10.5 plus my allowance. So that will be, so I'm doing 1.5 inch allowance, so that will be 12. So, but what I do normally, say if I don't want to calculate, once I get my waist measurement plus my allowance, my hip plus my allowance, I just bring my exact hip measurement here. It has already accommodated the allowance that I need. So the next thing I'll do, I'll connect with my tape this way. So I can just leave this here and cut. Okay, let me just connect. Connect and connect. Know that you can move your hip curve. Connect this way, move, connect. Don't just leave it straight. So you see my tip is giving me my, so this is what my A-line looks like. I'll come back for the slit, or after I have cut the back side. So I'll be using this one now to cut my back. So I'll make another fold. So make another fold of your fabric. Now it depends on how tailed you want your skirt to be. So since you have half of your hip measurement here, which is 24, on fold, in full is 48, you can add depending on what you want. Now this one I want to really make it tail, that is why I added this much. So let me measure what I added. So this is like 28 inches. So the next thing, now the reason why I didn't use up this part of the because of the material is like a standing tree, so I have to follow that way. So the first thing you do when you want to cut any fabric is to look at the design. So the design will tell you what to do. So I'm using all this remaining excess here for my tailing, like making it longer. So you can, it depends on what you want. If you don't want it to tail so much, you can add 2 inches, 3 inches. I can add as much as 10 to 20 inches depending on how tailed and the function that you're wearing it to. So the next thing I'll do is to note that I didn't contour my front because I'm extending, so there's no need to contour. And note that I didn't add that in front. I'll always like my front to be dartless. So what I'll do here now is to add, I'll add my zip allowance. My zip allowance is 1 inch. So I can add another 1 inch for my dart. I always take a 1 inch dart at the back, so that's, I'll need 2 inches. So I'll add one there. I'll come here and add another one for my dart. Then I'll come here and I'll add, I'll measure. I use for my side 21. Here I'll be using 18 because I want it to tail from right after the, just some inches away from the bum area. So the next thing I'll do, okay, let me cut so that I'll have space to fold and do my tailing. So I'll just cut this exactly the same shape. Note that I added the 1 inch at the top, so that is why you're seeing this difference. So once I take my back dart, it will leave room for the bum. So the next thing I'll do is to contour here. So this one is like immediately, look at, so you see it's immediate. So you don't have to go like this, and no, just contour so that all the back will remain long. So the next thing I'll do is to connect here down to, so let me fold this a bit so we have space. Now since I'm doing an A-line back, I will measure the distance between here and here. So we have 40. So I'll bring that value plus so I'll put it to where I will get my value. So this is 40. So if you like, you can make it longer. So this is my 40. So I'm just going to, you know, when you cut at an angle, it gets longer on its own. It's different from when it is straight. So I have 40 here, so I'm adding like 2 or 3 inches to it. So which is this. So this is my point. So I'll be contouring also. So I'll connect to my point. Well, this one has shifted. Let me put it back. So we have something like this. Now, on this area, you need to go in. Check. Okay, so you need to go in like 1 inch or half an inch to your. So this is the point. This is the point. So you raise it up and go in. This is for fitting, so your back doesn't have unnecessary excess. So now I'll use my tape as my ruler down to you just put your tape to help you. Okay, so this is my point. Okay, so it's straight enough. Make sure it's straight. So you know that I added two to 3 inches to the length that I got. So I'm contouring. If you don't contour, you say I'm contouring as high as 5 inches. If you don't contour, you find out that your back is sharp, which you don't want. So with this contour now, it will make it balanced. So this is the back. So once you hold your dart here, it gives room for your bum to sit rightly inside. So the next thing I'll do is I'll cut my lining. Now for the up, I'm using a nude crepe to get my up. So what I'll do is to place, so I'm going to be using my pattern, the block, the first one I did. So I'm going to just add like 5 inches to get it to be long the way I wanted it initially. So place. So I'm adding 0.75 as my my seam allowance, because I want to use the seam allowance as my casing channel, my boning channel. So I'll add 0.75 on all the seam allowance. Then the side seam, I'll add 1 inch. And I'm adding 1 inch because we're using zip. If I was using lace back, I'll probably add ½ inch or no allowance at all. And it depends on the fabric also. So add 0.75 on all your seam. Cut it out. Then you gum hair stay on the crepe. Then paper stay on your lining, or you can use hair stay on both. So that's what we'll do. Then I'll show you in our sewing video. The remaining of the design I'll show you while I'm sewing. So that one comes up after. Thanks for watching.